Hello, welcome to another podcast episode. We're going to talk about Bright Size Life, and we'll focus on triads and improvisation on this talk. Let's take a minute to think about the key signature and the last couple of measures of the form here. So we have the key of two sharps. So when we're thinking in the key of two sharps, generally we're going to be thinking about the relative major or the relative minor in that key signature. So the relative major here is D, and you can see that, or here, that we have A7 to D. So we have the key signature of two sharps, and we can say we're in the key of D as it resolves pretty clearly to that. So this will help to inform some of our note choices and some of the triads we might use, right? So if we start out with the G major chord, let's think about G major 7. Let's think about a couple of the triads involved here. We have the G major triad, of course, and then we have B minor triad. So when you have a 4-note chord, right, we have two overlapping triads here. We can incorporate that into our lines, right? So we could play G major, B minor, and work between those two as well. Well, if we have the key of two sharps, we just established 4 out of the 7 notes. What are these other 3 notes? We oftentimes call these upper structure triads. So what's left over? We have A, C sharp, and E. So those will have more tension involved with how they sound as you're playing on that chord. But very nice to weave back and forth between the A and the other 2 triads we talked about. So okay, so there I played a little bit on A major and then the B minor. A major and then the G major. So those are 3 really clear cut kind of triads that you can pull from, but there you can use any of the triads that you like. Play D major, for example. But those 3 triads that I talked about will really give you a fairly clear outline of the chords versus the tones that are not in the chord. So next up we have B flat major 7 or B flat major 7 sharp 11 or B flat over A. So those are some voicing type choices. This is really going to be very similar to what we just talked about, though, just transposed up a minor third, right? So B flat major triad and the D minor triad, as well as the C major triad for tension. Now we have D major triad followed by a D major triad over a C. So D over C, that's really going to suggest the sound of D7. This sets up a secondary dominant kind of sound where it tends to want to go to the 4 chord. So D7 would typically go to G. But on the first ending, we get set up with that expectation, and then we get pulled in a different direction with the B flat major 7. So when improvising on this first ending, you can pull from very much the same things that we did earlier on the B flat major 7. Okay, and towards the end of that first ending, we'll think in terms of G over A. So here, some indication about the triads are right in the chord's name. Well, we have the G chord over the A, which it gives it kind of a suspended kind of sound. We can also, of course, use the A major triad and the C sharp diminished triad. So there we have the A section. Let's talk about the second ending of the A section. Say we have G over B. I talked a little bit about this in the live stream from Sunday. Okay, so here we have the 4 to the 1. Now some of these chords that only have, one measure or shorter than 2 measures, it's not going to be a whole lot of time to spell out a whole bunch of triads. So you may try to be a little bit selective about it. And, the G is going to be kind of part of this sound. So unless you're really trying to step out there, might try to outline those, but all up to the improviser there. But we have a nice resolution into the D. So in this case, a 4-1. Let's carry on into the bridge. So we have something similar to what we talked about earlier. This G over A. Now you can, even when comping, kind of do a little back and forth between the A major and the G. But we can use these same concepts in our single line improvisation. We've got G, A, and C sharp diminished. Again, those will clearly outline consonances and dissonances, but don't necessarily need to limit yourself to only those 3. Now we have F over G. So we're working a little more here in key of no sharps, no flats. Right, so of course we have the F major triad, the G major triad, and then also work with that B diminished triad. Okay, A7 over E. This is a really great place to stretch out and expand and really get some dissonances going. So of course we can think about A7 or A, I should say A major triad, and then the C sharp diminished triad, like we talked about earlier. Here, try experimenting with some octatonic type sounds, or diminished scale type sounds, I should say. So try some triads that go, let's say, A, C, E flat, and F sharp. Experiment with those and see how you feel about that. You can also try getting a little outside with triads moving in half steps and whole steps. Check out in particular some live versions of Matheny playing and check out this part of the form. Okay, then we're back to D major. Okay, so that ends the B section, and then just like the first ending of the A section, just a measure before that, we'll set that up a little bit with the G over A. All right, so we've really discussed the A section quite a bit. Let's move to those last 2 measures of the form here. We have A7 We get an A major triad and that C sharp diminished triad talked about earlier. Then we're landing on D. Again, a D major 7 has two triads that overlap. We have F sharp minor triad as well. All right, everybody. Well, I hope this sparks some ideas and some inspiration to practice triads on this particular tune. Thanks for listening, and check out the YouTube channel if you haven't already, and fretprints.com. We do have a video version available on the website and on the YouTube channel for members. So if you wish to support the channel and this free content, please check those out. Have a great practice session. See you in the next one.